This video isn't an excuse to buy the most expensive item on the market or be unwise with your money, but if you had the option to buy a cheaper item now or wait a little longer and save up a little more for a better quality item later, you will save yourself so much money and headache in the long run. Alright, let's start at number 10, which is paper towels. Now I know this could be a touchy subject because not everyone uses paper towels, but I'm just saying when there's some unsanitary splashings happening, we don't know where that's coming from, but when there's unsanitary splashings and just things that are dirty, you have to just throw some of those paper towels away. So it's just good to keep some on hand if you have some things happening. If you are gonna buy or use paper towels, then it's just worth it just to get a good quality brand. Now there's a big difference between the dollar store brand of paper towels and Bounty. There's a huge difference. When you have a spill, Bounty only uses like one rectangle, where the dollar store brand, that one's taking up like 1/3 of the roll. So it is more cost effective in the long run just to get a thicker and better paper towel. Number 9 is garbage bags. Now it may seem weird because we're just going to be throwing this away anyways to pay more money for garbage bags. But if you've ever had a garbage bag break on you when you're trying to throw that trash away, man, that can be pretty miserable. All those wet, crappy dollar store paper towels, all wet and moist, gross. Now you gotta touch them again, yuck. Also, that little leaky dribble that's like dragging all over your floor, yeah, you gotta wipe that up again. So you're gonna have to take a paper towel, hopefully the rectangle, that one Bounty rectangle paper towel, and you gotta wipe that up. We live in an apartment and we have 50 stairs and 4 doors to go through, so we have to have good garbage bags. So yeah, just buy the good stuff, it's worth it. Number 8 is household cleaners, and I'm talking about the cheap stuff. The stuff where the bottle's made up of mainly water, but it still doesn't get the job done. You're using like over half that bottle and you can't even get a good scrub action. Yeah, those mirror cleaners can be a pain in the butt, and some of those stain removers can totally mess up your clothes. There are some items like chicken stock or lemon juice that are totally okay to get when you buy generic, but when it comes to needing to clean something really well, sometimes just opting for that name brand is just a few pennies more and is totally worth it in the long run. Number 7, let's talk about charging cables. Now I'm gonna guess that a lot of you already have cell phones, but yes, you're gonna need a charging cable to go with that, and sometimes it's nice to have an extra charging cable either for your battery pack or for your car. So buying a good charging cable makes a big difference. We use iPhones in my family, and there's so many different kind of charging cables you can get either on Amazon or at the checkout line from Walgreens, and they're like $8.99, $9.99, but in the end they end up breaking like 2 or 3 weeks later, sometimes a few months later, and then you're like, oh darn it, now I gotta buy it again. So sometimes it's just worth it just to pay the $15 or $20 just to get something that's gonna last for, 3-4 years. Also, a lot of those off-brand charging cables don't really work with the phones or sometimes the USB ports that you're trying to charge to, so buying directly from the phone manufacturer could be a good idea. Now remember, there's a difference between being cheap, frugal, and irresponsible. So we want to be frugal with our money, which is spending our money carefully and wisely. Okay, number 6 is a printer. And just remember, when you buy the cheapest option available, sometimes that quality is going to break down quicker. But when it comes to a printer, you want to make sure you're getting a printer that doesn't go through ink super fast. There are some printers that are really good deals, but then it's like they're drinking the ink from a boba straw. Printer ink can be super expensive, so just make sure you're doing your research on a good printer that doesn't go through ink super fast. Number 5 is a vacuum. Another household item that you don't want to skimp on is a vacuum. Now, vacuums can be kind of like iPhones. There's always the newest and the greatest and the most advanced in technology, but vacuums can be anywhere from $100 to $1,000. However, buying the cheapest of the cheap vacuums can break down faster, and a lot of those cheap vacuums can just throw up a lot of dust. Number 4 is a refrigerator. When we were in grad school, we wanted to go pretty cheap, so we bought an $80 refurbished refrigerator, and it kind of did the job. It kept our food cold, but then it started leaking, which then invited cockroaches into our place, and then it was super disgusting. We had to get an exterminator. We had to move all of our stuff out. It smelled really nasty. The little cockroaches came out and we're like dying, and then we had to put all of our stuff back in. It was just super gross, and it was totally a waste of money. We then got a nicer fridge from my auntie who was kind enough to give us a little hand-me-down, and she had a pretty nice fridge. And man, I did not know that refrigerators could keep your food fresh longer if it's a good refrigerator. So I kind of think, how much money did we waste when we had to throw away some of our fresh produce because it just wouldn't last past 5 days? So if you can, just get yourself a good refrigerator. Trust me, you don't want cockroaches, and you don't want to have to throw all that food away because it won't last in your fridge. All right, number 3 is a washing machine, a dryer, a dishwasher, or any other big appliance. It's not like you need to go overboard and get the best of the best and spend like $20,000 on a washer and dryer set. However, getting a good appliance and not having to replace them often is worth it. We live in an apartment and we just got our washing machine and dryer set replaced 2 years ago, and they replaced it with a brand new spanking janky set. Well, now it's broken again, and now the little washing machine thing won't spin anymore. So our apartment complex called up the washing machine maintenance guy, and we saw the bill, and it was around $79 for him to come and do a consultation. Well, yeah, it's still broken, and now we have to self-spin it. So what we do is we open it up, we put in our water and our clothes and all of that, then we actually start spinning it ourselves. And if you do that and you close it, it actually starts spinning even faster. And it kind of works now. Get good quality appliances that are also energy efficient, because this can save the environment a little bit. It can also save on your electricity bill, and it can last longer. Now, I know a lot of these items I'm talking about can get pretty expensive. We went from cheap paper towels all the way to washing machines and dryers, but if you're looking to get in control of your finances, take a look in the description below because I have some resources for you. Number 2 is safety equipment. Now, if you didn't know, I'm a physical therapist and we do a lot of rehab, obviously, but yes, there's a lot of traumatic brain injuries and it's super sad, so I just want to say, never skimp on anything related to safety equipment. Always protect your head and protect your body. Trying to save money by not investing in good safety equipment is not a good way to save money. Skimp on everything else in this list if you have to, just don't skimp on safety equipment. It doesn't have to be top of the line and crazy expensive, but it does have to do the job and it does have to be worn properly. Medical debt is no joke, and also having to rely on other people is not ideal. Stay safe out there and invest in some good safety equipment. All right, we have made it to the end of the list, and this is expert opinions on home repairs. If you need to make a home repair, it's totally okay to DIY some things, like DIY a knob or like a door or something. But when it comes to water, plumbing, or electricity, do not mess with that. If you just happen to be an expert, then you are stinking awesome. But if you're not an expert, don't do it yourself. Don't ask a friend of a friend who's dabbled in it a little bit, because water can cause mold, and then mold, you're gonna have to fix that. You gotta get rid of the mold, then you gotta redo the drywall, then you gotta paint it, you gotta do the finishings afterwards, and down the line that can really mess you up if you're trying to sell your home. Just get an expert to fix your problems, as this will save you so much headache, time, and money later on. It's well worth it if the job is well done. If you have any items to add to the list, please comment below. Also, I'm going to link my video on 10 self-care items that you should never skimp on right here.